TV shoot. I probably should have dressed up, you know? And I used to wear like a nice tie for these kind of things and a little suit, you know, and look good. And then like 3 months ago, I realized that no matter what I do and what I wear, I look like a little lesbian. So what's the point? Hey, how you doing? I live in this really creepy neighborhood, and my girlfriend is afraid of being attacked. She always goes, I'm gonna get attacked. And she used to have one of those like rape whistles, but that didn't make her feel good. So for her birthday last month, I bought her the new vaginal club, which is a great deterrent, man. You just snap it on, the rapist sees it, passes on by, man. Use it or lose it. Did I offend anyone saying vaginal club? Does that creep anyone out? I'm kidding, it's called the clunt. You know, folks, hey, butterscotch and ponies. Bang. I like the, I really miss on TV, there were these guys that used to be on TV on the East Coast that would teach you how to paint. There were these guys that had, remember the painting instruction show guys that had their little show, and there was like this easel set up in the blackness, and they would just stand there and they would teach you how to paint. And there was the one guy who was like the hippie guy with the big like hippie afro, and he looked like, I think his name was Bob Ross, and he was like real mellow, and he would just like sit there going, all right, just paint a happy little tree right there, man. Put a nice happy little mountain behind it. But like, he like never used a consonant in his whole life. Yeah, just put a nice little house behind it. Like this human quaalude. If it was like really late at night and you couldn't sleep, and if he was on, man, fucking bocce balls, you were going to bed, you know? But then there was this other guy who was like the opposite of him. He was this little squat German guy named William Alexander. You ever see that guy? He looked like Bob Ross if like Bob Ross went to Jupiter and the gravity just kind of crushed him and he got like real squat and he had like this shock of white hair and he was like so intense. He was like Klaus Kinski on crank. He'd just sit there going, the almighty brush that you wield the power of God is causing you will paint. You will paint. He was just unbelievable, man. And like, Bob Ross had 8 or 9 different sized brushes he would use. You know, you go, okay, here's a mountain here. But William had one brush. Wide enough to paint a barn with, man. And he could do anything with it. He would just go, now we will paint the Douglas fir tree. Bam! Perfect fir tree right there with the fucking trunk already in it. It was like, it was already shaded. You know, it was terrifying. I wield the wand of Odin! So, the thing about Bob Ross was like, Bob Ross was really focused on you learn to paint. He wanted you to learn how to paint. But William Alexander, you learning how to paint was incidental to him ranting about like his enemies list and people that had done him wrong and this vengeance that he was going to call down from heaven. And then, as an afterthought, at the end of the rant, he would give you the painting tip, like it had just come to him. You know, so he was just, when I started my method, they told me I was wrong. And I knew God was on my side. When I paint, my mind goes away. And I fall into the coma of blackness. And the pain and blood spits out of me in the torrent on the canvas. And when I regain consciousness, when I crawl out of the dusk latitudes of my failed life, I see the painting there and I am happy. Because it is out of me, and that's so good. And then paint the mountain there with the dark brown, and mix the blue in it with there. My third wife was a bitch! And when the change of life slam into her like a subway train, and the vagina fall out of her skirt on the floor. And she stepped on it with the golf cleat and said, you put the poison on me! And I shaved her back with the rusty tuna can lid. And the skin come off like sheets of papyrus that I write my divorce settlement on in blood! And then put the stream next to the mountain there with the light blue. Just use the edge of the brush.